Yeah, Time Dog is happy to have the Porsche back, but this is not what we're here for today. I'm actually at the Ford dealership. The Ford dealership, the big one. As soon as I get out, I see what I'm looking for, and it is gorgeous. This is the Raptor, y'all. The Bronco Raptor. Now, why would Anton be looking at a Bronco Raptor? Because this is one of the main cars that my daughter said that she wanted for her 16th birthday. Now, she doesn't turn 16 till February, but I heard that you got to do a little bit of legwork, a little bit of shopping if you want what you want. She actually put a whole lot of vehicles on there, but this was the one. Well, she didn't put a Raptor, which this one is like $100,000. She put a bunch of other ones that were a lot more expensive. But let me go in here and have a little bit of conversation with you guys because I was surprised today. A couple different things I want to talk about. So they're telling me that it'll probably be more like 3 months, which I thought that it was going to be like 6 to 8 months to custom order it. But then he's also talking over there to his guy because I guess a customer possibly ordered one. Man, my hands are ashy. Don't worry, that's from wash my hands. Your hands is nice and moisturized though. Customer possibly turned one down that they already custom ordered. So I don't know. I'm gonna see what's happening. But I was over at the Mercedes-Benz dealership, right? And so, I've had my Mercedes for like a year and a half, and I really like the S-Class because it's been a great car. And I've been rotating in and out between the S-Class and the Porsche, right? So I'll turn the Porsche in next year. Middle/end towards the third quarter of next year. And so I called Mercedes and I'm like, man, thinking about maybe getting another one, switching it up. I want to see what's happening over there with the G63. The G-Class, the G-Wagon, had a Jeep before, maybe thinking about upgrading. G63, somewhere between $175,000 and $200,000, something like that, right? But it's a really great car because it holds its value and all of that, even though the value is not necessarily the thing I was looking for. I just really like the G63. So I'm talking to the dealer, and they like, Anton, it's like a 2 to 3 year wait on it. 2 to 3 year wait to order a G-Wagon? She said, yeah. I said, okay, not a big deal. Not a big deal. Then she says, it's a $50,000 markup above MSRP. That's what we charging. That's what everybody is charging. They charging more out in California. So wait a minute. It's not the pandemic. And if I want to order one, I got to wait 2 to 3 years to get it. And I got to pay $50,000 more than whatever Mercedes recommends that you do it for. Is that what we doing out here in these streets? Look, I paid a significant markup. What was my markup that I paid for my S-Class? You remember?
It was like $15,000 or $20,000.
$15,000, $20,000, and that was a year and a half ago. Because I got it in April of 2022. $50,000 for a G63? See the new Mustang? I used to have a Mustang. Ooh, 5.0. I used to have a Mustang. Had the gray one. It was really, really nice. Had a 5.0. Wound up turning it in. It was a really good car. Fast car. But what, the Mustang? Nah, I'd already had a bunch of them before. I do like the screen in here, right? That one right there. It's pretty cool. And I like the way that they engineered it. Probably the last of its kind, considering that muscle cars are going away in favor of hybrids and electric cars, which you got the GT Mustang there, and then you have the Mach-E, which I see a lot of women driving these cars. It's just that same screen that they have inside of the F-150. But I see a lot of women driving these cars. What is the MSRP on this thing? Looks like we got $70,000 for this particular one. What makes this thing so special that it's $70,000? Where is the GT part of it? Because the GT of this means that it's a 5.0, but there is no engine here, which I really do like electric cars, especially mine that's out there. But I'm not really sure that I can justify paying $70,000 for a Mustang Mach-E. Maybe 45, even 50. What does this look like in here? But $67,000? I don't know. While we're waiting to get this deal done, you go, you see nobody out here anywhere. You see the Michigan game. This one is delayed here. This is where everybody is. Okay. So I'm revamping my studio. So I just ordered the new Mac Studio, and then I got the 27-inch monitor to go along with it. I didn't get the keyboard. I got the keyboard that I already had, but I didn't get the keyboard, but I did order this. It's pretty dope because it tilts and it goes up and down like that. A lot of money, making a lot of upgrades to the studio, yo. So here's the life hack though, right? It was completely free. So I spent over $6,000 total for the monitor. The monitor was like $2,000. Might have been $2,300. And the Mac Studio was $4,000. So you can get the one that was $2,000 or $4,000. But I got it completely free. And this is how I got it free. Now I advocate against using credit cards to do stuff, but I have a very, very, very high limit. And so I charge everything to the credit card, even the different materials and stuff that I got to buy for the house that I'm building, which I just came from checking out that too to see the progress on it. We got the plumbers coming next week, and then we got the framers coming a week after that, the first week of January or the first week of December. And so we're going to continue on to that. But I basically buy all of the stuff, materials, everything through that. Everything that I do from a business perspective as far as traveling, everything. I buy it all with that, but obviously we have the credit to be able to, the cash to be able to pay for it. And so basically we just buy it and then we take the money from the cash and then we put it straight onto the business card, to the Sapphire Reserve. And then it just accumulates points, and that's how, I wind up staying at the Ritz-Carlton over in Tokyo. I upgrade all of my studio equipment with it because you get 50% more points, or you get 50% more when you shop Apple through that particular thing. So it's really a life hack, right? And I do advocate against using credit cards, and this is really a subject more for the Millionaire Morning Show. I advocate against using credit cards, but if you are in a position where you spend a lot of money, because if you don't spend a lot of money, and if you also paying interest and payments on the credit card, not paying off the full balance, then it doesn't make sense for you to do it because you're not really getting any real return on your money, right? But we do leverage it, and maybe I'll have that conversation a little bit differently depending on where you at, but we don't want to leave anybody behind, and that's one of the reasons why, we have those conversations, or we're very careful about how we have the conversations. But they definitely are still charging with the cards at the cars at these dealerships, right? I just ordered I can't really talk about that. You guys will see soon enough. But, I just ordered some stuff, and then also I was inquiring about, different cars. They'll even give you a deal on certain cars, but other ones that's lower in demand, they will not give you a deal. But there's one caveat that go along with that. These cars, they're starting to become assets. They're already assets. Let me move away from the crazy kids. They're already assets, right? So assets are basically anything that allows for you to be able to get some value from it or money back, right? A car can be an asset, jewelry can be an asset. Now, how valuable it is, or whether it's a depreciating asset or an asset that continues to go up in value, is a different conversation. The cars that I'm finding myself buying nowadays now, even the exclusive ones, tend to be ones that hold their value, or you get more value from it, or if you ever decide to get rid of it, it'll still hold its value. And those cars I am starting to think about buying versus leasing. So it just depends on the use. And then it depends on whether or not you're buying it for the business itself, because you only want to use it for the business. But those are completely different conversations. In other news and other different conversations, one last thing that I want to kick it with you guys about, before I go about my day and I go and have fun, right, is y'all gotta stop simping, bro. I'm out and about in the mall, naturally, and there's certain women that we see moving about, and there's one that I ran into that I know And she's a very, very decent looking woman or whatever, right? But I don't have any value or interest in her or value that I can extract from her. So she's just cool or whatever, right? But here's the thing. I know her past and I know her history. I know her past and I know her history, which means what you guys think that you're going to get is much different than what that package is. You know what I'm saying? It's a completely different package. And so she knows, and it's funny because she knows and she understands that there's always going to be simps around and there's always going to be a guy that's willing to take used goods and everything like that. And so the value that you guys have for her a lot of times that's never met her is much different than the value that she knows she inherently has with people that actually understands her background. So she moves differently around guys that value her versus guys that don't value her. Here's the caveat and here's the catch. The guys that don't value her, she's preferring them, but she's dealing with and settling for the guys that then give her everything that she wants because they look at her as more valuable than she really is, right? Think about that for a minute. The guys that understand who she is, she pivot and she's even more feminine and she's a little bit more careful, she's more transparent, she's more based in reality and she's willing to do more with people that don't really care, that'll tell her no and don't see her as valuable as you do. And so you gotta stop simping because what these dudes don't understand is that simping don't get you nowhere, but with lighter pockets and with less of a value of a person, with surprises because you valuing something based off of what you think, not based off of what you know. Just because somebody look good, you don't know their past, you don't know none of that. So try to see through that veil in order to make a more informed decision versus getting caught up in something that you're not supposed to be in the first place, all right? I love you guys. I appreciate you. I'm about to do a little bit more shopping, hang out. Shout out to Michigan. Michigan beat Ohio. That was an exciting finish. We love you. We appreciate you. We're going to holler at you later. Peace.